Summertime, så du min, og jeg vild med dig. Summertime. Welcome, Aries, to the Maria in RainbowLand show. This is your personal sun sign horoscope from the 29th of May till the 5th of June. If you want to go straight to the horoscope and skip the Maria in RainbowLand show, you just go to 3 minutes ahead. Let's start the show. Summertime, så du min, og jeg vild med dig. Summertime, honey, solen danser, du og jeg. Hver evig eneste morgen, der går jeg i skoven. Jeg tager min gummi på, giver hunden snor og synger tra-la-la-la-la-la. Om det regner, sner eller der sol for oven. Yeah. So, welcome to your modern shaman, Maria in RainbowLand. A show to inspire you to don't follow trends, follow your heart. I'm in the garden of my childhood home in Esbjerg, Denmark with Mooney in RainbowLand. She is 105 years old. Yes, that is true. At 105 years old. If you count that in man years, that is 15 times 7 in dog years. So, she used to have the nasty dance moves in the old days on the floor, but that's before she turned 100. We used to dance a lot, Mooney and I. And before we start with your weekly sun sign horoscope, I'll let you hear a bit of a song we made, Nikolai Brockdown and myself. I'm a composer, write songs and melodies, and I'm the singer as well. And Maria in RainbowLand is also funky house music and more peaceful meditational music at once. When the report is over, you can hear the whole song. I will put it at the end of the report. There's also 2 versions of this song on the channel. One with a super funny music video with Mooney on the roof of my car. My car is full of hearts and there's birds inside the trunk. I'm meditating in a chicken house and there's goats. And a lot of other things are going on in that video. It also went out in the radios in Danish, and we will soon enough release it in Spanglish and English next summer. That will probably be. I have so much on the plate right now. So I chose this week, instead of filming things from the air as last week where we saw the yellow fields of Denmark, to make a dance video where me and Mooney is dancing barefooted in the garden, letting ourselves and our inner heart unfold to a little bit of a Sagittarius full moon energy. Inviting you to do the same. Hey. So that when the report is over, I invite you to join me and Mooney as the summertime song starts again. And then you jump on the floor and dance with us. Yay! Here's the forecast. So, hi there, Aries. This is the second time I'm making your report. I actually already did it 2.5 days ago because for some reason I had a fallout on you and Taurus's sound, and I always check it before, but I cannot sit with a long line and then listen to it while I'm talking. But I had a fallout already after 1.5 minutes, so this is the second time I do it, and this is what us Aries are good at: fighting, even though we have obstacles, and we have obstacles in our 10th house, career. So this is a good example of this happening. But first, before I go into the report, which is from the 29th of May till the 5th of June, I just wanted to show you my first ephemeris. It's around 2 decades old. It's from 1900 till 2000. I wanted to show it to you because when we read a chart, we base it upon the positions of the stars, and these are the numbers of where exactly the stars are. So it's a rational system, where you also, like for me, for example, I use intuition while I'm doing it, so I have a lot of rational systems and boxes, etc. I can relate to due to the experience I have within the star system and what I've been taught to look after when this and that happens, and then trying to give you an idea of in which field we are, and then of course you have to use your intuition as well as we go along. We also have these kind of
tables or images of screenshots of the stars on the sky, and I print 7 of these instead of having a computer as I'm doing this outdoor forecast for this week. So basically, me and Mooney is here in RainbowLand. I'm in Esbjerg, Denmark, and this is my childhood home I'm sitting next to. And Mooney is 15, she's the double Leo, and has a lot of energy usually, but since she's 105, then it's okay to be sleepy. Right, Mooney. So what's interesting this week for us Aries, I'm an Aries too, is that we have a full moon in Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is our sister sign, and it's our 9th house. And as the houses fall in the respective signs for us Aries, as the only sign of the zodiac having this is so strong for us, because Sagittarius in the 9th house and a full moon here is kind of setting the tone for the rest of the year. Actually, it's the only full moon there is in a year, so it highlights this field of your chart and make you renew the way you feel about whatever is in the full moon's job description, you can say. And in Sagittarius, this is about freedom, expanding your mind, traveling. These are the traditional things. For me, it's always been a time where I'm very, very, very in tune with nature at these times, and I always sit out and meditate when we come to this period of year, and I use nature to be in sync, because when you are in sync you get a broader perspective, because then you're not so much in your own head, because Aries, we are so steadfast, we want to go this direction and we know what we want, etc. But these times a year, it's, of course we still know what we want, but it's more like it's time to expand our minds, to break free of whatever's tightening us down, and just allow ourselves to have this freedom and independence. And I say this also because our planet is at the same time in Aquarius, so this combination of detached Aquarius and the freedom-minded Sagittarius tells me that us Aries will have a feeling of that it's nice to not necessarily be alone or break up with your partner or anything like that, but it's a good time to be around yourself and others, of course. Get out there and meet other people, but it's okay that you need some space around you, is what I'm trying to say. And at the same time, of course, if you're in a relationship, it doesn't mean you have to say to your partner that they can't be around you. But just give yourself that space that you might need. So, other than that, I would encourage you as we go along, as the moon moves into your 10th house, your career house, and activates all the things that's already going on there, when we come to a Thursday, to get your professional cap on and then be ready for the world. Before that, the day before on Wednesday, we have Gemini moving into its natural home of we have Mercury moving into its natural home of Gemini, and this means that you may be more talkative and out there and having more balls in the air with people, and like sharing your ideas and information, and you get around, get around, gotta get around, or people come to you, different people come, shortly they come in and then they go, and another one come in, and there's a lot of communication like that, and it's a good aspect sign-wise, as the sun is also in Gemini, to your own planet up there in Aquarius. So maybe you're connecting with friends, and we also have an aspect as we come to the weekend where romance may blossom as we come from Friday into Saturday. So even though you are detached, maybe you will have some romantic stirrings in your heart that you want to express to your partner, or someone new showing up, who knows. The dreams are alive, since Neptune is also activated during the weekend. But as I said, we also have things going on in your 10th house of career during this week, and it can activate some deeper stuff. And of course, I need to say one thing. It was, since I'm filming this just as the moon entered Sagittarius, it was a really nice shift to come out of Scorpio. I love my Scorpios, but sometimes it's just heavy there because you need to get in contact with stuff that you kind of forgotten about for the last month, but then it re-enters in a new way your whole daily life, as we had at the end of last week's report, the moon in Scorpio. So it was nice to get into this new week and feel the freedom, but a freedom with still a lot of focus upon the job and the career life, and still also in the family. Even though you want to be free and feel unattached, and there's Venus in the family and home life, so there's still things to think about there, even though you're thinking about traveling abroad and getting out there on adventure. So the adventure week, as we get into it, then there's still things to deal with the family. And since Venus is in opposition as well, this in your 10th house, maybe it's rather serious things where people are lifting a finger and saying, like, authority figures, like your dad or your partner come with a face like, hey, did you remember this? Be realistic about these things you've forgotten to look upon. Life ain't just a joyride. You also need to ground these things and be real and be realistic about certain things in your life as the moon passes both Saturn, Pluto, and then Black Moon Lilith, bitch goddess. Yeah, there are things to deal with, as always. Also because our planet is slowing down. It's going retrograde later this month, and this means that we're actually having a period until October, until we are out of this retrograde period. We need to know that whatever is going on now will take like some months before we'll have complete clarity upon it, and we've worked our way through whatever issues we have in our connections, in our work life, or maybe even privately. And we also have to be patient from now on until this phase is over. So just enjoy when the fire energy is there and take advantage of it, is what I also want to say. Then later on Sunday, again it's Central European time, you have to remember. So whenever I say a time, it can be, if you're in the States, 6 to 8 hours earlier, and later, 7 hours later if you're in Japan, where I usually live. So yeah, I have to remind you about that. Then on Sunday, Central European time, we have the moon going into Aquarius, where we will join our planet Mars, and maybe put us in an emotional state, as Mars is also conjuncting the south node of the moon. Things from the past can come up in us, and we will be emotional about them perhaps, and have to not react aggressively and burst out with something we didn't mean to say too fast. So be aware of that. That's actually into Monday before that happens. Sunday, Monday, depending on where you are. And yeah, I guess I think that the most important things I have to say about this. Let me see what I would do into these schedules. I don't want to bore you with too much. And sometimes I also like to mention the larger perspectives of what's going on a bigger level. We have to remember that at the same time, I mean, when I say bigger level, it's slow moving transits where we have Jupiter, for example, in our 8th house for 1 year, as it's kind of cleaning up upon all the hard things that have been going on there since 2012. It's now putting a light upon what you went through and what you learned about yourself and what you learned about your own shadow and other people's shadow towards you if you don't put out the right borders and limits and say, until here is what I can handle, and over that, more than that is what I can take, at least right now. And then at the same time, we know that Venus is coming and going retrograde into our 7th house of partnerships this fall. We also have to remember that this is kind of like the last. Venus is setting kind of like what do you call it when you have a to-do list and you check, is what you call it in English. It's doing a check upon a long period of relationship works within Libra and Scorpio. So on all levels in relationships, we have a chance to also see that, of course, we have our limits, we have our borders, but we have to also adjust to other people and be okay with that. in a good balance. Yeah, I just wanted to mention that. But I love my fellow Aries, and I wish you the best of luck. And of course, I want to remind you to don't follow trends. Follow your heart. Catch it. See you next week. Thanks for watching, and remember you can follow this channel and subscribe to it by clicking subscribe, and then you'll get a notice every week when these reports are out. Or you can also choose to go into RainbowLand.dk or modernshaman.dk, and here you can subscribe to our newsletter and thereby getting a notice whenever we are ready with a report like this. See ya. And now it's time for you to dance with me if you feel like it, but why wouldn't you? Here is Maria and RainbowLand Summertime, full version. Take it away.
Summer, summer, summertime. Summertime. Så du min, og jeg vild med dig. Summer, summer, summertime. Summertime. Honey, honey, solen danser, du og jeg. Hver evig eneste morgen, der går jeg i skoven. Jeg tager min gummier på, giver hunden snor og synger tar, la 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 la. Om det regner, sner eller der sol for øjen, yeah, yeah. Så bider jeg en stille bånd for dig og ønsker dig lykke på vejen. Så nemlig for du vil følges med mig. Fuldmånen stråler ned på dig. Måneskin, måneskin, måneskin. Har solen skinner på din vej. Put den ind, put den ind, put den ind. Summer, summertime. Summertime. Så du min, og jeg vild med dig. Summer, summertime. Summertime. Honey, honey, solen danser, du og jeg. Hver evig eneste aften til kaffe, der bæller te og kobler hjernen fra til sød musik, der siger da-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da. Om tiden er 3, eller jeg er på farten, oh yeah. Så sender jeg dig tusindvis af kram og tænker på alle de gange vi var på trangen, vi to fik det væk til en sang. Fuldmånen stråler ned på dig. Måneskin, måneskin, måneskin. Har solen skinner på din vej. Put den ind, put den ind, put den ind. Summer, summertime. Summertime. Så du min, og jeg vild med dig. Summer, summertime. Summertime. Honey, honey, solen danser, du og jeg. Sagde jeg til livet, gav slip på tanken, tog ej for givet. Fik det vi troede på, nu er det kommet. Vi skulle samme vej, og jeg kan slet ikke forstå, at du er her hos mig. Fuldmånen stråler ned på dig. Måneskin, måneskin, måneskin. Har solen skinner på din vej. Put den ind, put den ind, put den ind. Summer, summertime. Summertime. Summer, summertime. Summertime. Fuldmånen stråler ned på dig. Måneskin, måneskin, måneskin.
And by the way, don't follow trends, follow your heart. Your modern shaman Maria in RainbowLand. Maria in RainbowLand checking out. Bye.
Summer, summer, summertime. Summertime. Så du min, og jeg vild med